You just as much as you need me. We have a very, very, very interesting live this evening as we manage the hold today. And I understand we still have about 2 hours until the daily close. But as of right now, we've held that 52-cent level. And that is a very big indication if we can maintain this level of support, because it does look like we will have some consolidation as to be expected. But if we can hold this 52-cent level, about 52.1 cents in current times, that should allow us to, in the very short term, have a short-term move back up. But we have to hold 52 cents. If we lose 52 cents, this can invalidate what we're talking about here, this thesis today, and 100% is invalidated if we lose 50.8 cents, which is this handle support here within a cup and handle formation. And I will show everybody this very quickly, just in case you're new to the audience. I'm not sure how many people will be here this evening. It's a Friday. I'm on about 20 minutes earlier than I normally start because I was excited about doing the live. And I just wanted to come on. Our 11-year-old, the 10-year-old has, well, you can hear them in the backyard. She has one of her friends over, so they'll be playing, so you'll hear them in the background, which is always nice. I'm glad that they're outside playing and not on technology or on their tablets and things like that, so I'll never complain if they want to go out back to play. But this is the handle support I'm talking about. Just we have to make sure at worst that we do not lose. As of right now, this is right around, we'll say 50.6 cents. So 50.6 cents right now. So we want to hold no worse than 50.6 cents if we did have a fall down, but we really don't want to lose 52 cents. Just if I'm being transparent, I don't want to lose 52 cents anymore. I would like to stay on top of that rising channel resistance the way that we determined it. Now, one could argue that you could put it up farther, you could put it in different spots, but the reason why we went from here is, if you look in the weekly time frame, and I'll show everybody real quick, we've got this weekly wick right here, then we got right here, I hit this wick when it came back up, kind of ignoring these just because you had a solid wick coming through and it was rejected again when it went up and back through, but this area again, big rejections points here, and then it gets the rejection right here as well, comes right back through. So I believe that's the proper way to look at this, but obviously you can pull it out and you can put the wicks up higher. We've had them there before just to show how it would look up higher, but this is the proper way, in my opinion, for the current time frame we're in. It's dramatic here because right now we're consolidating on that 52 cent line, and we must play out on an inverse pattern right now. This has to play out as some kind of inverse right arm. Anything short of that, this could have a tremendous drop, which only really has a hold point if you talk about that handle support. So we'll go into all of that. We can see a W reversal forming, which is another reason I wanted to come on now, because I'm excited that we could have a possible bullish reversal here that could lead us up pretty substantially if this plays out properly. It could even call for a retest up to 60 cents, and then even farther if we can do this properly. It's just nobody really knows if this is playing out as a wider head and shoulders pattern, a smaller head and shoulders. But what I can tell you is we need to retest here and break back above 54.1 cents, ultimately in the 4-hour time frame, pushing up and over 56 cents, and then we'll have our technical move up to about 60 cents. So that's what we're looking at right now, and it's very dicey. It's very dicey right now where we're at. If we could hold these levels, it could make for a very interesting rally here coming into the weekend. So we'll go over that. We'll go over Bitcoin. We know about, if anybody was here this morning, we talked about the lawsuit news, so we're not going to go over that again. The only thing I'll tell you about that, if you haven't heard yet, the SEC was granted a 3-day extension to have a response to Ripple, and then Ripple will have 2 days to respond after that. So what I've calculated is it's approximately May 2nd or May 3rd when we have the SEC and then Ripple's response to the SEC's response of Ripple's response. So there's a lot of cat and mouse games going on, but as usual, they delay things, and we're kind of just stuck here asking ourselves what's really going to happen going forward. So we'll pay attention to some of that. we'll go through and see if there's anything popping up as far as XRP. Crypto billionaire Arthur Hayes predicts Bitcoin bull run to return after 1.4 trillion US liquidity spike. Interesting. XRP whales are active. Here's where they are sending coins. And that's something we'll talk about because the whales have been very, very active. Very active, and a lot of them are taking their XRP off of the exchange and putting them in unknown wallets. And as we know, that's a very bullish proposition. If you see whales taking their tokens off of exchanges and putting them into their unknown wallets, that's what you want. You don't want to see it coming from an unknown wallet onto an exchange because that means they're getting ready for a sale. So that's the two ways to really look at that. So we'll go over all of this as well. I'm kind of interested to see what the crypto billionaire has to say. I think that could be pretty interesting as well. So let me do the intro here. Then we'll get into Bitcoin. I'll go over some comments. If there's anybody watching, if you are watching, please make sure to hit that like button. Whether you're watching before or after live, it's equally important to hit that like button. For the ones that are watching during the live, you'll allow this to get out to more people while the live is actually going on. Because when they're looking through their feeds right now, a lot of people are getting off of work at 6:15 on the Eastern Standard Time right now in the USA. So a lot of people are ending their work weeks right now. So they could be getting home. They look at YouTube, and because all of you have hit that like button, they'll be able to see me as they're scrolling through their feed. And if they're new, it'll be a chance to get some exposure to the channel and this great community. And if you're an older viewer and you haven't been able to find your way back, it's a beautiful way to have YouTube recommend the content. We pass through the algorithm, and then I end up on your feed. So please make sure to do that. So good evening, 6:16 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Friday, April 26th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So it's crazy to think that we're already on our last weekend of April. It's pretty crazy to think that. Last weekend of April. We've got 77 people here so far. I'm pretty impressed by that, actually. Only 37 likes. Please make sure to hit that like button. Those are so valuable for what I do. So valuable. It cannot even be understated. If you don't hit that like button, we cannot get this content out there. And not even half of the people in the audience have hit that like button. So I'll do my best to get you to hit that like button, but I won't talk about it much more. JW, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. Wicked storms across the Midwest. Yeah, we're supposed to be looking at some storms here coming in about 10 p.m. tonight, so it could be an interesting night here. But hopefully you all are staying safe in the Midwest. Simon B53, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 2 months with the Dusty's Outhouse Crypto News. Mo and UK Phil, thank you both for being in Tom's Army for 2 months, or with 3 months with the XRP Meteor. Jorge, Mario Luis, Willamese, welcome in. Mark Caston, thanks for being in Tom's Army for 1 month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Trading with J-Ride, thanks for being in Tom's Army, along with Jerry Clark for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon badge. I greatly appreciate that long-standing support. Miss Vicky, welcome in. I'm so blessed to see you in here, and I hope you're recovering well from those broken bones. I know it's a trying time for you, but I'm always blessed to see you in here. Oh, I'm so happy to see you in here, Miss Vicky. Real talk. Thank you so much for being in here. Let's see, we'll get into this. CJ2 Pilot, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army, like I said, I believe for 6 months with the XRP Predictor. I think that's everybody. David, welcome in. Vincent, welcome in. Thanks for being in Tom's Army for 1 month, along with Jordan with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. I missed you too, Miss Vicky. We talk about you quite often in here. You get asked, a lot of people ask about you when you're not here, so I love seeing that. So let's get into this. I'll do this based on audience response, and then we'll see what happens here. So XRP's at 52.64. down 0.25% at 52, or up 0.23% at 52.6 cents. And right now we're holding this rising channel support. So if we lose this, and we know rising channels, if you break down out of them especially, are very bearish. Unless you can have a push through, they are typically bearish reversals. Now, it doesn't have to play out like that all the time, and we do have a little bit of hope here because we did have a quick drop down to 40 cents. Now, that can help tremendously because now you've already had a liquidity style event when we broke down through here. So even when we came down through the support, that still was a 20% drop from support, and on the totality on that drop, it was about a 40% drop. So I like the fact that we're trying to hold this support. Now, I'm still very weary until we break above 54 cents, as everybody knows, because as long as we stay above or in this range, you could be creating a topping reversal, and that could bring you all the way down as low as 34 cents. So this is very important, this setup. We really want this to be some kind of inverse head, inverse left shoulder, and then right shoulder to bounce out. So we, the bank, welcome in. George, good evening, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for at least 3 months with the XRP Meteor. I thank everybody who's come out here this evening on this Friday. I know it's been another underwhelming week as far as XRP is concerned. I know we've been under XRP, under $1 for a very long time. And if you're new or older, I still haven't cut my hair. And I told everybody in July of 24, I wouldn't, or in July of 23, I would not cut my hair until XRP hit $1. And we're going on, let's see, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. So we are going on month 10 when we get to May, without me having a haircut. And this is specifically because I want to prove a point here that there's time to accumulate. We've had plenty of time to accumulate. And like I've said, we've not come outside of the accumulation phase yet. It still continues. Some are asking if we're going to have a pump today. Vincent, the best way I can put this, right now we have an engulfing candle in the 4-hourly. We had a bullish cross, the 20 cross and the 50 in the 4-hourly. We came back through temporarily. But what this looks like to me is we cleared out the gaps here on the way back up. And now as long as we start pushing up here, the big thing, and it would be nice to have a close over 52.80. I acknowledge that. But it's not the end-all, be-all. We would love to have a close over 52.80, which is attainable. We've got an hour and 29 minutes. It's very possible we could close over 52.8 cents. This is going to cause an even bigger engulfing candle here into the next candle. But right now, this looks bullish on the W reversal. It looks like we could garner some attention here. And with some of the things the whales have been doing, it very well could push into a momentous occasion here. A momentous occasion. So we'll get into some of the finer details. We'll get into XDC as well, as some of you know. Oh man, it came back up 2%. Damn it. When I first came on, when I was setting up my live, oh man. And we'll go over this as well because I thought there was a beautiful opportunity. It's in the reversal. I missed it by that much when I was doing this. That much. Well, I thought I was going to have better news because it was at 3.90 and I was going to buy this live on air. Because I was looking at this. I had bought it, remember, yesterday. And I wrote it up. And I was able to make just over $110, somewhere around there. And I was waiting. And I thought it was going to retest all the way down. It did not come all the way down, though. So maybe that's on me. Because I could have very well done this. No. You know what? Now that I look at it. Man, if I would have just did it like that, that would have made a lot more sense just to myself. Well, that's why I like to go on the air too, because sometimes I see things that I wasn't seeing before. But man, this was a beautiful pull down here. I really thought it was a nice one. This is what I was waiting for all day. And we got it, and oh man. That's okay. That's okay. That's a very bullish consolidation right there. Came down and retested that area. That's very interesting. And we can draw that out much bigger as well. But we'll get back to that. We'll get back to XDC. However, I do feel like I missed an opportunity there at around 3.9 cents. That's where I was aiming. And now I am shocked that it's even right there right now. Literally, when I was setting up the live, it was at 3.9 cents. And I thought that we had a fair shot here to talk about this together while it was down there. It's come up once, almost a whole tenth of a penny so far. It doesn't seem like a lot, but that's about a 2.6% move already. That's quite, that's That's demoralizing, as one could say. Oh, man. I thought we were going to have one of those cases like yesterday where we could buy this together and just have a nice little move. Honestly, Miss Vicky, I am very disappointed right now because I had a buyback plan after I sold this morning, just to buy back on the retest. Now, I acknowledge that could be a topping reversal as well, but that's a big long leg doji here in the hourly. You can see it all the way through. You got a top heavy. That's more of a dragonfly up there in the shorter time. Man, in the 4 hourly, the 1 hourly looks like a reversal. 3 hour or the 30 minute, I can guarantee is going to be a very engulfing candle. So we'll see how this plays out as we're live. But that's a missed opportunity in my book. But, you know, you can't catch them all. So I'm not saying it's not a good time, but I would have loved to have been able to talk about that 2.2% ago when it had that drop. Man, I'm speechless. It really pulled up very quickly here since I came on. It's not that I don't want, it's not that you can't buy right now because it's on the reversal candle. This absolutely could be a good time to buy. I'm just saying, for me, I was looking at something and now I'm very stubborn. So if it's like this and it came down, I mean, this very well could be the V-shaped recovery. Interesting, because this looks like an inverse head and shoulders that in time is going to play us up. That's about the 422 level, just in the short term. So it's not that it's not a good time to buy, because I can show you this in a much larger perspective. And then I think some people might actually change their perception maybe. But we could even come through here, because you've got a nice resistance that's been just, if it continues to get beaten down, not necessarily you would want to buy it right at resistance, but if it breaks through this, because I can show you how, I was just looking at it a different way because I was looking at the retracement. But if you're looking at this for real, I think it would behoove you not to look at it more like this. Something like this. I think that's the best way to encapsulate what's going on here. I really do. So, with that being said, if you're asking me if you should buy it at this exact moment, well, we like to buy support. We like to sell resistance. But if it breaks through resistance here, which that's a very quick V-shaped recovery. You know, that was a very big opportunity there. Just 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 55 minutes ago, right when I set up this live, literally. That's a 3.3% reversal very quickly. So now you would have to see what's going on as well to see if this is ready to break out of this. Because if it is, then your next layer is going to be coming up to the top here, and that's around 4.2 cents. So I'm going to be watching this. We'll see if we get any kind of retracement during this live. But now our attention can focus to XRP. So XRP, it's the same thing as XDC. If we get this back test, the opportunity here is that if it holds 52.1 cents, that's an opportunity for the weekend buy, if it holds it. Because one could argue that it's going to go one of two ways. It's either creating that M-topping reversal, or this is creating a new inverse pattern here. And it's now trying to round the bottom. And really, it's not whether you're right or wrong. You just have to kind of anticipate what's going to happen. As long as that holds at 52 cents, let's say, I think this is very bullish if it holds. It's just, this is what scares me. That topping reversal setup, until it's invalidated with a swing up and a push over 54, you can't invalidate this, and you have to act like it's there, because then if you get rejected here, the technical target from this rising channel, it's a multi-year rising channel going back to March of 22. The technical target suggests 34.9 cents. So we've got to be very, very careful. Very, very careful. It depends. I used to buy it on Uphold, but I was sick of the fees. So in the video description below and our pinned comments, there's MEXC in the video description. If you're in the USA, you're going to have an issue buying it there because new users aren't allowed. But I still use that platform as I was already registered before they stopped accepting new USA users. I know it's not on BITUNIX, so that is not an option. So I've been doing it on MEXC the last couple times that I've swung it. So that's what I've been doing. Miss Vicky says she buys on CoinSpot in Australia. Excellent. That's excellent information. Thank you for that, Miss Vicky. And thank you to the 64% of the people, roughly, or 66% of the audience that has hit that like button. And thank you to the 106 people that continue to stay diligent. As I understand just as much as you do that this is a trying time. But remember, where there's fear, where there's uncertainty, where there's money changing hands, and where some are losing 20% on quick wicks, and then there's chaos. When you start to see Ripple taking out 100 million, 150 million tokens, again, before the escrow drops, it makes you wonder. So a lot of people, instead of holding XRP, they've decided to dump XRP, and they're not going to look back. I think that's a huge mistake. For one, if you're going to dump it, you better damn well make sure we fall out of that 78-month consolidation at 39 cents. Otherwise, you have a 78-month consolidation of a pattern that's building and building and building and building. And you've got an ecosystem that is growing. You've got Ripple announcing a stable coin on the ledger and on the Ethereum network. So you've got exposure that'll bring a lot of liquidity in. Even if you say XRP is a pile of shit, adoption's a bunch of garbage, it's not really good, yada, yada, yada. At the very least, it's a gas token, and with all this added liquidity and movement, it's going to be worth the appreciation, in my opinion. We, the bank, appreciate your work time and falling for a couple months. Hey, I appreciate that. And Jeffrey, no problem being late. You're here, man. You're technically not late. Technically, I start at 6:30 usually. But I was excited to start today. I can't explain it, but I had a passion within me to do this live today. Like, I really had a nice passion. And I think it's because the more people get negative, the more positive I get. The more negativity, the more that people are like, it's like the worst thing ever to hold XRP. It's like, I want more. You know, I want more. And right now I'm looking for that opportunity for a swing here. I already own my XRP in my long bag, don't get me wrong, but some of you know, I have been known from time to time when it looks like an opportunity is presenting itself to buy XRP for a swing. And right now, if I did it for transparency, you're talking about a $4,000 trade I'd be opening up if and when I do this. So where it's at right now, in my support structure, I would not hold under 51.30 under any condition. Under any circumstance, I would not hold if it breached that level, period. Because then it would prove this topping reversal. But sometimes to make money, you've got to risk money. And right now you're looking at a 2% drop right now that you'd be on the hook for. And I'm talking about a spot trade. I'm talking about a spot trade, not leverage, none of that. But on a spot trade for every $1,000, you're looking at a 20% cost. So if I do 4,000, that's an 80% risk here, or $80 risk. Some would say, well, it's on 4,000, that's nothing. Oh, trust me, every dollar is something. Every dollar is something, because if I do this 30 times, it's not just $80, right? That's $2,400 if you do it over and over and over. So, and yeah, like Messi said, scared money don't make money, baby. That's the truth. And I try to find opportune moments. You've heard me say this term over and over and over. Opportune moments. And yeah, sometimes the opportune moment doesn't pan out, and it'll cost you 60 to 80 bucks. And I'm not talking about a 10x trade here that'll cost you 20% on a 2% drop. I'm talking about a simplistic straight trade that can cost you 20 bucks on every 1,000 bucks. That's it. And if you can't risk that, you know, if it's not worth it, then it's not the right time. But I look for things like this. W reversal on a support structure. What about buying in for three? I mean, you theoretically could do that. The only reason I don't like doing that is because these are considered engulfing candles that end up turning into what could be perceived as starting to turn into an inverted hammer, which means even though you're looking for that tap down here at 52.1, it probably gets cut off at 52.30 unless it starts to show more of a reversal. See, you don't want And it's tricky, right? Because you don't want this to come back down to the support. It already did it on the reversal candle. So your best positioning here would be to get in around 52.40, 52.35. And then you hold this. And then if 51.30 breaks, it's an easy in, easy out. Yes. Depending on how much you spend, it'll cost you a couple dollars. But I'm looking for that quick swing because I'm not satisfied on it. It came through, but if this right arm is for real, and this is a real right arm, I anticipate that we still have, that's about 2.7% to the top at 54 cents. But if it comes back out here, folks, I think a lot of times we get nervous on the perceived direction of something, and then we're just like, oh, topping reversal, time to not look anymore. But look what happens if it does something like this. Now all of a sudden you're like, well, what the hell happened here? What happened here is you had a nice V-shaped recovery, back tossing out. That's what could be happening here. Like real talk. In the daily, it's easier to see this. If it were, it's easier to see how this reversal is possibly playing out. In the daily, we're looking for just a little bit more pull up here, but this is still a more bullish candle than bearish. This is almost setting up as a clean reversal here. And we've got a lot of room if we can do this properly. Even with the relative strength, we're right back at the mid-tier level. If this is maintaining bullishness, this is exactly when it should slit the throats of the shorts and it should start pushing up. So I'm looking here during this live for transparency. And you know what? If it costs me 65, 70 bucks, 80 bucks, and it comes through, so be it. But I'm not going to buy it yet. You know why? Because I look at every time frame. So the 30-minute time frame, this is an engulfing candle. So I need further evidence that this can hold 52.50 through this 30 minutes. Otherwise, I could see it coming back through here and hitting 52.1. It's not the worst thing in the world for it to happen. It's just we're trying to work off of these reversal candles. And like I said, if it pulls down too much, it's going to put a reversal in the 4-hourly. And you don't want that because then it's going to make it tough to buy. It would make it tough to buy because then you get this wick that has top end, pulls back down. Then it could end up being another reversal candle and it would be a lot of uncertainty. But I feel a little bit like, all right, reversal. Maybe it's starting to form into an inverted hammer. Would love to see it at 524. It already was once. Yeah, somebody said XLM. That's another one of interest right now. Ooh, I accidentally hit that button, but look at this. So I believe right now everybody needs to pay attention to precious metals and your commodities. And we're going to get right back into XLM because I have a lot to talk about. But when it comes to commodity, and please make sure to hit that like button. 30 people could hit that like button, and I guarantee you it would help more than you know to hit that like button. If you think XRP is about to have an explosion or is going to hold this support, hit that like button. If you think crypto as a whole is setting up for a leg up, hit the like button. If you just appreciate cryptocurrency, hit that like button. Or if you like precious metals, if you've been back in B2 Gold with me, along with First Majestic, hit that like button. I know a lot of people are getting confused because I have too much stuff on here. I'll just put up here in particular. So B2 Gold, you know, we rode it from 244 to 307. Then we got out at 298. We rebought back in at $2.52. Now it's at 262. Earnings is coming up. And the reason I say that is when earnings comes, these are going to beat earnings. Newmont Mining already beat earnings. Went up 13 to 15%. We had our nice move with Newmont, but now I'm on the sidelines because I want to put more into B2, as you guys know. Better dividend. I think it's farther behind, and I think it's got a lot more upside. But B2 Gold, as we know, gold's at an all-time high right now. And over 2,300 with a lot of room. So now it's going to be based on... it's going to be based on the new price of gold. And B2 Gold, by the way, if you're watching, B2 Gold, for the first time in their history, is producing more silver than gold. Because one of their new mines was rich. And they weren't expecting this, but it was absolutely rich in silver. Still had a lot of gold, but they got unexpected richness in silver. So as you know, silver's undervalued, and it's going to be going up exponentially over the next few years especially. So that's a double-edged sword there. So as most of you know, I started off with like 1,600 shares. We had some moves up and down. I buy and sell as needed. Got up to 2,222. Now, because of this last recent movement up and down, making some money here and there, we were up like 1,500 bucks on the push up. I was able to buy back over 2,600 shares now, so I'm very excited about that. And a lot of people are like, Tom, that's a lot of money in there. That's like $7,000 almost. Yeah, it is. It's like 6,700 when I bought it. But it has a 6.4%. Well, I think it's down to 6.2% dividend. Might be a little lower today. But I really believe it. And this is one that's been beaten down for a long time. And it's only because there was a slowdown in production. That's it. There's nothing catastrophic here. This is one that I think in time is going to outproduce the market. And I think before we know it, and we know these the consolidation that are descending consolidations where it's these are bullish reversals in the making, and this is a massive one. This is a massive one that could be handling here. So we all know, though, I have the double I, and it doesn't look like we're going to have to worry about that because that's a very big reversal in the daily. Like, if you want to talk about how you want to see a week end, that's as bullish as you will ever see it in a commodity, in a mining stock. As bullish as you'll ever see it. So that's a beautiful close there in the daily. And we're over this pivot point here as well, which is very important to me. That's right at that $2.62. So we've bounced off support. It gave us a beautiful opportunity. And this is exactly what I'm looking at for XRP, everybody. I didn't buy 248. I waited for the confirmation. See this wick down? I got it at 252. That was on this wick. That's what I'm looking for XRP right now, everybody. So, and then the only other thing, and then we'll get back into it, and I know not everybody likes precious metals or commodities. You should have an interest in them, though, for this next chapter. First Majestic, we were in the first time at 530, all the way up to, what was it? Almost 8, over 8. I think we got out at close to 8. I think it was 7, maybe 8, 780, I don't remember. But I bought back in at $6.68. And that was just yesterday on the open. Went down to 663 or 665 on the open yesterday, and I bought it back. And I'm not looking back. Unless this gives me a reason, but that looks like a prototypical reversal right in front of us. And we've got earnings on B2 Gold and First Majestic May 8th. May 8th. Don't forget this, May 8th. So I expect May 7th for B2 Gold, I expect some fireworks. I expect fireworks, and I'm not a financial advisor, so I might be off my rocker right now. But this is just the way I perceive the market, and I try to do my best to give you that transparency that you can't find anywhere else because I show you my own charts. I don't trust anybody else. I trust myself, and I know everybody watches me to get my input. For everybody who does watch, the ones who aren't afraid to watch and hear the truth, I commend you all. I really do. I commend you all. It's an honor and a privilege for me. You have no idea how honored I am to be here. Yeah, if you want to buy B2 Gold, that is your own personal expectation of what could happen. I've been very transparent with everybody. If that $2.48 breaks, then I would be selling it out again and riding it down to 220 area. But I don't know if it's going to go back down there. I'm being honest. I think B2 Gold, not just for holding it and getting out of the US dollar, like, let's be honest, 106.09 is where the dollar ended today. Way too high. Way too high. Nobody wants that trash. No one's buying the dollar. So basically, when the dollar is going up, that's the US government just buying the dollar. That's it. No countries want the dollar. They're actually starting a new monetary policy with gold. Telling you guys, we're so early still. It might not seem like it, but on these commodity stocks, early. But right now, B2 Gold, and I know First Majestic's like 0.4% dividend, but B2 Gold, it is at, sounds good, my love, 6.2%. So we were right on the money. 6.2% right now. And just a little bit of numbers here, their net profit last 12 months was only 10 million because the price of gold, when we look at it the last 12 months, was so far down compared to where it is now. I'm telling you, they're going to blow this out of the fucking water. Gross profit was still 780 million. Revenue growth year over year 11.64%. Revenue in the last 12 months 1.93 billion. You heard that right. Even with the cost of gold being so far down compared to where it is now, 1.93 billion in revenue. 3.41 billion market cap. Average daily volume is 17.1 million. Today was only 9.99 million. And it was a big consolidatory day. Something big is going on here. And their operating margin is only at 35.75% capacity, which means they've got a lot of cash on hand. A lot. They're actually in very good shape. So I hope some of you are paying attention. And remember in the beginning when I talked about, I'm waiting for these pull downs. Hopefully XDC comes down with it. But we're looking to see if XRP is in fact trying to fake us out here, or if it's something more. Right now, remember what I was saying. If we come down too far, this is going to invalidate the structure. So we really don't want to come down much farther. Otherwise, you could see another reversal candle. Right now, this is an inverted hammer that I would say, if anybody wants to guess, what is this, about a 70 percentile? 65%? It's squeezing right now. 4 hourly, we broke through resistance, so that's bullish. But we got to see if this plays out. Now what we want to do in the next hour and 14 minutes, wherever this low hits, it was 52.24 right now. Now you're going to want to see this start pushing up eventually here and start to have an engulfing candle to the upside and get as close to that 20-day as you can. You'd really want to be over 53 if we could make some big noise here at the end. But we'll see. This is an area that, if you're looking, this is exactly what we were talking about. If we get around that 522 area, it cuts off a little bit. So now from here, it's 1.84%. So now instead of a $80+ hit on $4,000, if it comes through, it's only about 72. And look, this looks like a W reversal setting up. So I'm showing you everything you have to consider. And I don't mind. I'll tell you if I lose money. It doesn't bother me. Scared money don't make money, and there's only certain times of opportunity. This isn't going in blind. You're going in with a reason. You're going in with an understanding. And I'm not telling you to leverage trade, because you can very easily see when you get the wick that would come through 513. Easy. And we've already had several attempts down. That's why you have to be careful you don't unload until it invalidates. But remember, if it comes down a little bit farther, you don't even have to wait that long. Remember, if it comes down, you're going to see that that reversal, and it's an M. And we've been we know what these are. So that's why we don't make any rash decisions until we see some evidence. I want some evidence, damn it. I want evidence. XDCC, don't be impatient. You don't get the spot you want, you wait. Because even though I didn't get it there, I could just as easily buy it if it bounces over and then back test here at 4 cents. That's not the issue. But if I'm going to buy it way up here, it better be breaking through and back testing. Otherwise, I want to buy it as close to here as I can. Now, XLM, somebody had a great question. And we're going to relax real quick. I might have to put this out when the oldest one gets back, so we'll see. She had her varsity tennis match today. They won last week, and I think they're 1-1 right now. So, 1-1. So it's a good start. Good start. Let's see. XLM, and I think we did a great job coming on earlier today, because look, we're catching these retracements in real time. In real time. Honestly, the stuff I have this time is the best I've had in a very long time. I'm very happy about it. This one that I'm smoking, it's mixed with gelato. But I can't remember the other thing that was mixed with it. But I really like it. Whoever grew it did a very good job. Very, very good job. Now, look at XLM. We've got a little M topping reversal here in the 15-minute. We had a golden cross, but we can invalidate this if in the 15 if we come down much farther. 30-minute, we're retesting the bullish cross, which means in the 45, retesting it, probably all the way to the 2 hourly. Reversal in the 2 hourly, that is interesting. That is not good. So, okay. This changes things a little bit. So now I would say, I would honestly say you don't want to buy leading into the close. I'm not being a dick. But that's a reversal on XLM. That's also, oh shit. That's also a reversal on XRP. Do not buy before the close. If you're going to buy, let it run into it. Let it run into it. Because that doesn't make me feel good that it's a reversal candle. For anybody who doesn't know, a long leg doji, you'll have equal wicks. If you're looking at it from the Heikinashi point of view, the middle squeeze, and you have equal length top to bottom side, and it looks like a stretched out cross, basically, with the cross in the middle, it's stretched out on both sides. That's what it looks like. Speaking of the cross, don't forget to give thanks to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ here on this Friday evening as we go into the most holy of days here on Saturday. So let's just be humble enough to know that we don't control all of this, but we can be a part of all of this together. The more that we spiritually connect, and we connect through positivity and the helpful hand, the more that we cast out a lot of the negative energy. You notice, it took a few weeks here, but we're starting to get back to more positivity here. We've gotten out, we've shaken out some of the weak hands, as we like to say. So it makes me very happy to see that. So the long leg doji, and like I said, whether there's 25 people here in the lives or 400 like we've seen, surprisingly, a couple times, well, close to 400, I think I still want to be here. I don't care if it's 25 or 500. I just want to be here talking to the ones who want to learn, because I'm still learning myself. Every single day I come on here, don't think I know everything. Only a fool says they know everything. I don't know shit. I'm getting better, but even I don't know anything. So if I don't know anything, imagine how much you can all learn with me. So that's the long leg doji. You see it squeezed in the middle. You've got the arrow pointed to it. So that's what it looks like. So now I ask you, and if it's going in, so if you're going up and you create that, that's a uncertainty, and it's most likely showing that you got to retest lower levels. If you're going down and show that, like right here, and it doesn't always play out like this. You had one here, it showed we're uncertain on the pull down, and now it pushed back up. Now we're uncertain on the support, so now we very well could be starting to gather some more attention. But look, this 2 hourly, if it pulls down any farther now and taps this at 52.1, this could turn in, I don't want to say a spinning top doji, but I think it would turn more into a dragonfly doji, which is actually a bullish continuation candle disguised as a reversal candle. A lot going on here, folks. A lot going on here. And I try to keep you as best as I know to keep you updated. Just like if you see Stellar come all the way back down here somehow to 11.18, I would buy that. I would buy that, because that is also, right now though, it's a true reversal candle, so we got to be careful. Same with XRP, got to be careful. Bitcoin's down 723 points, or down 1.12% to 63,759. In the shitstorm area, Bitcoin is one that could give you a pause right now. And this is in the shit show area. We're below a very pronounced formation, but as we've talked about, it's very possible that this could form, instead of a, what the hell happened here? And I was going to say, that doesn't look right. Instead of it creating this kind of a consolidation where it's more like a symmetrical triangle, maybe one could call it, what if, like we've been, just speculating on, what if it created this little pennant flag, maybe consolidation, maybe a little channel, and then that could hit it right here as well on that broadening wedge at 59,300, if that's the way it wants to take it. Now, the technical target out of this upper pattern is 50,599. But we're looking for the spots where possibly it could hold. So, I want to know. Not necessarily. Right now, we're hooked to Bitcoin, which means if Bitcoin's going down, more than likely the alts are going down. XDC typically does the opposite of what everything else does. So if you have a big pump day in XRP and XLM, start acquiring XDC on the dump. And look, this is why we were patient and went up to 4.1. Now it's back down to 397. So again, we're just trying to watch everything. But you want, for altcoins to go up, we need Bitcoin dominance to go down. So the only way for alts to go up is Bitcoin dominance to go down. Now, ironically, the Bitcoin dominance could be showing a reversal back to the top, possibly. Right now, it's still Gravestone Doji, which is bearish. but it's staying within the formation. We need this to come down. We need this to come down. It's just, that's a very bullish consolidation. So when it does something like this, that's very bullish consolidation. Like, this pattern's different now. It's come up, it's created something like that, and if it breaks up, this will come all the way back up to 57%. And that is not necessarily a good thing for crypto, because that means Bitcoin would be commanding more money. Unless this is suggesting that more money is going to leave altcoins and find its way into Bitcoin on this drop. But see, that's why I keep thinking there's some kind of reversal that could be playing here as well. It just doesn't seem right that everything would drop like this is kind of suggesting, and Bitcoin's just going to be outperforming it. And not, well, no, I take that back, because if the altcoins drop at a faster pace, see, even if you did it like this, you can't even do it now. We already came through that. So I do like that downtrending support like that. I do. Unfortunately, I think you got to kind of look at it like this. Unfortunately, I think that's what we're looking at. And if the market cap of Bitcoin, the dominance, breaks out of this to the top side, that's bullish. If it breaks down, now we're talking. If this breaks down, we're talking. Because then you're going to come all the way back down. We filled the technical target. See, we already filled the technical target out of the pattern breakout on the market cap. We front ran that when we were in that pattern, and it played out perfectly. The mid tier is 55.59%. We know if it's below that, we can break down. If it's above that, you can skyrocket. So we would love to come back to 2021 terms, because look where Bitcoin dominance is in 21 during that whole run. 21 and 22, it's down there around 40%. So you're talking about 15% of the money that was not in Bitcoin and was spread around to altcoins last time. There's 15% more out of $2.283 trillion. So 15% out of that 2.283 trillion right now is in Bitcoin. Back in 21 and 22, it was in the altcoins as well. So, I mean, consider that when you're wondering why altcoins are struggling right now. Too much money's in Bitcoin. Too much money's in Bitcoin. Whether via the ETF or other means, too much money's in Bitcoin. There's nothing we can do about that until it changes. The XRP Bitcoin pairing, however, as I've been talking about for the last, I feel like forever, it still hints at a reversal coming. It does. And I know we put it into this channel yesterday so we could see it in an easier way. But there is something big. I'm deleting all of this, because we're going to get to the bottom of this, and we're going to do it in a one pattern way now. We've had so much stuff on here, but we've got so much more evidence. But this Bitcoin dominance is hinting at something to us, that we could be finally hinting at a reversal soon. Soon, not today. I mean, it could be today, we don't know, but soon. I think it's very dangerous to get out of XRP as a whole. If you've been in love with XRP for any length of time, and it's been something that's been part of your goals, I think it's highly unusual to get rid of it after a 78-month consolidation and just not see where it's going to play out. I do. Now, if we break 39 cents and it looks like it's over, well, you know what? I can't hate anybody for that. I'd probably not sell. Well, you never know. You never know in that scenario, because then I know it could be a detrimental drop. But if you look at the XRP Bitcoin pairing, what's interesting is anytime you go back here, all the way back in its history, so just remember this, we're getting within a 50% drop right now of being at the most bullish areas it's ever been in, if you go according to its history. We actually might be right there. Honestly, everybody. We actually could be right there. Oh my God, we are. Wow.
Michaela did good.
Did you guys win?
6-0, 6-0.
6-0. Oh, excellent. Did you have any 6-0 last year?
Yeah,
Once? So, and this is only, what match is this?
Huh?
Third match?
No, they've had more games.
Has it been, what's their record now?
What's your old 5 times? Okay.
I know you won your last match, right? And this match. So, what's your record? Do you know?
I've won 4 out of 5.
Oh, 4-1 now. Excellent. Good job. I'm proud of you.
Next week they have 4 games.
4 games next week? Well, it'll be nice next week.
And then she goes to New York.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you know you go to New York when your brother starts school?
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? So, look at this, though, everybody. Holy shit. Guys, look at this. If we look at this in this regard, and I'll show you the rationale of where I'd line this up. Look at that. Oh my God. Look at that. This is either suggesting that XRP is going to drop a lot faster than Bitcoin on this next move, or we're about to have a rally in XRP. Like, look at that. Every time in its history, folks, this is huge. Every time in XRP's history, when it's paired against Bitcoin, when it comes down 2, 3, 4, every time before this, it comes down here, it has a massive breakout. Massive. And I'm not just saying a breakout, massive. I've done this research. First time it came down here in its history, we had an 1,885% move against the Bitcoin pairing. The second time it came down here, and listen to what I'm saying, we had a 2,400% move against the Bitcoin pairing. The third time it came down here, and I do the average, so 462 is the average point because that's where it hits every time. It came up 3,100% paired against Bitcoin. Now, the smallest time when it came up, even from here, remember the smallest, it went up 550% against the Bitcoin pairing. Hello? Something's building. If this support holds again, which we're in that moment right now, if this holds again, holy shit, and it looks like the weekly's getting ready to crack. This is huge. And look at that downward trajectory. This looks like a shakeout. If you look at the history of this pattern, and the reason why I lined it up where I did, and I'll show you the proof of how you do this. It's not just me trying to hit every single piece. I use support 1 right here, support 2 on the first drop. And then it came through, nothing more, and then it came back up. But this is where I decided, because that's the second real hit on the drop down. This is absolutely indicative of a possible huge reversal in the making. I mean huge reversal. See, these are more reasons why there's no way in hell I could sell XRP right now seeing all of this. There's no way. Does everybody see what's at worst? We've had 555% move against Bitcoin. At the highest, we had 3,100%. We had 2,800%. We had 1,500%. This is huge. Now, what happens if this breaks out? Well, we're going to go to where both sides meet, because that'll give you a very accurate breakout. I mean, the projected breakout, if this actually played out true, let's just see what it's telling us. The projected breakout here is about 345%. If the bottom falls out, my friend, it's easy. If the bottom falls out, it's fucked. But you can't tell if the bottom falls out until it breaks past this wick, because that wick was basically at 0. I mean, you can see how far down it would have to go. No, the point is, if the bottom falls out, it's over. But if you're playing it, where's the best area of support to buy against the pairing, that's the best I can do for you. I can't tell you about the what ifs in life. So if I lived on the fact that a negative outcome could happen, I wouldn't do a damn thing anytime. Ever. So, you know, there is the possibility, but 1, 2, 3, 4, this is the 5th time it would hold this area. And every single time, this seems to be the support floor. There's not much lower for it to go, which is a good thing. The bright side is, if there's not much room to go to 0, so if it's going to go to 0, You know, ain't much more room here. You're talking about a move to zero. I mean, even a 93% move is down to 5.2. So if you're talking about how much downside room there ain't much if it's going to hold on. Otherwise, what are we saying? XRP is going to go extinct when it's compared to Bitcoin? I mean, there's that possibility. Thank you, everybody. Almost 100% of you hit that like button. It's remarkable how that happens during the live. I love it. If you do appreciate my work, consider sending one YouTube super chat per month or joining Tom's Army. As I seen somebody send a YouTube super chat, I'll be damned. I'll be darned. And while I'm looking for that, in the video description below and our pinned comments, I know it's been almost an hour, but you can find a way to trade XRP, whether in the USA or across the world. You don't need a VPN. It's the lowest spot and leverage trading fees I've found in the USA. BITUNIX is up during the high times of volatility, and something is building one way or another here. Something is building. And I'll be darned. I'll be darned if I'm not going to be very excited about this right now. K4 Liberty, thank you so much for the $10 donation. You make sure that I get at least one donation here on tonight's live. I truly, truly, truly am very blessed to see you paying it forward like that. I don't think everybody realizes just how far paying it forward goes, because I don't do any of the paid promotions, advertising, or any kind of those sponsorships or anything like that. So it helps out tremendously. So thank you all so much. Like, seriously. I love Fridays. I love Fridays. I also love being here with all of my friends. I do. I don't go out on Fridays because I don't associate with anybody in real life. I don't have any friends in real life. I don't trust anybody. You know, you go through history and you understand, you know, there's some people that I talk through, you know, through social media and stuff that I've come to respect and consider friends. But I spend more time with all of you than anybody else, besides in my home. But I just think it's awesome that we have a platform here and that we can do this together. It wouldn't be the same without it. Now, let's read this real quick. I want to know what this crypto billionaire Arthur Hayes is predicting. So, if you got relaxation, now would be the time, folks. And I'm not in a rush. I know it's almost an hour, but I'm not in a rush. So if it goes an hour and 10, an hour and 20, so be it. Hour and a half, who knows? I'm not in a rush. And the audience has been exactly how I like it. Very positive, very intuitive, very helpful, a lot of knowledge being dropped, and a lot of excellent questions. Even when somebody's asking me a question about what I'm saying, or if they think it can go the opposite, I think there's a lot of real wise people in the audience tonight, and I think it would be a detriment to just end right now. So we're not ending at an hour today. Today we're running over. It's just that simple. And the beauty of me being in charge of my own show is I can make those decisions. So, hey, we're flowing good today. We call for more than an hour. It's that simple. Crypto billionaire Arthur Hayes predicts Bitcoin bull run to return after 1.4 trillion U.S. liquidity spike. So crypto investor Arthur Hayes believes Bitcoin could experience a bull run resurgence if, as he anticipates, liquidity returns to the economy next week, stemming from Janet Yellen's policies. I happen to agree with him. Bitcoin could see renewed momentum due to new United States economic shifts. Hayes believes that while the Federal Reserve may not directly impact Bitcoin and altcoins, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen is now the key figure to watch. Hayes' insights on ignoring the Fed and Bitcoin's bull run. On April 20th, the United States Treasury plans to release quarterly funding documentations outlining strategies for managing liquidity. Hayes highlights the importance of two liquidity sources within this documentation. You know what? This is a good night for this. Since we're already an hour in, I'm going to play, because some people will leave now, because they're going to say, oh, well, we're not going to get any more. He's just going to start talking his mumbo jumbo, yada yada, and the hula hula. So, I'm going to play some other second choice in the background. Yeah, I really want to play some other second choice, so. And I'll turn it down. And Mr. Anthony Carter, if you're out there in the abyss, thank you so much for allowing me to use your copyrighted material. I do not keep the advertising funds that come through while your songs are playing. I actually split it with you 50-50 to your band. I rejected the opportunity to take it 100% because you released your music to me. So I actually keep it on so that you can enjoy some of the advertisements. It's only gonna be a few dollars. You know, it's only gonna be like maybe $5, but $5 is $5 for you to keep. So hopefully you get a part of that, or maybe even $3, who knows? Is this too loud real quick, and then I'll continue reading. Is this too loud? If it's not too much, yes, sir, Soul. Yes, sir. -2. Okay. How's that, JW? If that's better, then I'll continue reading. I just wanted to make sure. Oh, beautiful. So, Mr. Anthony Carter, if you're out there, hashtag Mother Second Choice in the comments. He's a pro out there in the Outback, in the Australian Outback. Hopefully he's having a blessed day today and a week, and his health is doing good. As expected, tax receipts. Or wait a minute. On April 29th, the United States Treasury plans to release quarterly refunding documents outlining strategies for managing liquidity. Hayes highlights the importance of two liquidity sources within this documentation, the RRPS and the Treasury General Account TGA. As expected, tax receipts added roughly $200 billion to TGA. Forget about the May Fed meeting. The 2024 refunding ANNC comes out next week. What games will Yellen play? Here are some options. Actually, if we want to do a blast from the past as well, and we'll get back into these. Does anybody remember when I'd play this in the background, just out of curiosity? Wait, is it this one? Yep, that one. Does anybody remember? Has anybody been here long enough when I used to play that in the background when I was reading? As expected, tax receipts added roughly $200 billion to TGA. Forget about the May Fed meeting. The second quarter 2024 refunding ANNC comes out next week. What games will Yellen play? Here are the options. Stop issuing treasuries by running down the TGA to zero. That is a $1 trillion injection. Hayes emphasized Yellen's crucial position within his theory, which suggests an increase in U.S. dollar printing leading up and beyond the upcoming presidential election. He highlighted a potential $1.4 trillion liquidity injection stemming from a $1 trillion TGA drain and 400 million RRPs. If any of these three options happen, expect a rally in stocks and, most importantly, a reacceleration of the crypto bull market. Hayes said the Fed is irrelevant. Yellen is a bad bitch. You best respect her. Bitcoin ETFs face overdue short. Bad bitch? You mean never mind. I'm not going to go there, JW, but more like not bad as in has no information and knowledge. So that's just what he's saying. I don't want to read more of that, otherwise I'm going to get in trouble. And then the XRP whales that I was talking about earlier. So XRP whales are active. Here's where they are sending coins. On-chain data shows the XRP whales have been active during the past day. Here are the destinations their moves have been heading to. XRP whales have moved around big amounts in the last 24 hours. According to data from the cryptocurrency transaction tracker Service Whale Alert, several large XRP transactions have been witnessed on the blockchain in the past day. More specifically, 5 transfers in total that are of scale, often attributed to the whales, have occurred on the network inside this window. Disregard that. Thank you, JW. You've taught me a lot about having to pull back sometimes, and that was one of the times. More specifically, 5 transfers in total of scale, often attributed to the whales, have occurred on the network inside the window. Since whale transactions involve transfer of significant sum of capital, they can sometimes cause fluctuations in the market. And everybody who's still here, 96 of you, which is awesome, pay attention to this. These are what the whales are doing. If you own XRP, or if you're trying to buy back in, you better know what the top holders are doing. The implications of any whale transfer might have the market depend on their intent. And remember, if a whale takes from an exchange and puts it into an unknown wallet, bullish, they're anticipating price appreciation. If they take it from an unknown wallet, put it on the exchange, the thought is it's bearish because they're looking to sell, or it can be immediately bullish and then bearish after. So the ironic thing is, if we get regulations, I might not be in crypto as much as I am now. So be careful what you wish for. The only reason I like crypto is it's unregulated. Put it like the stock market. Every single one of you are going to stop trading crypto in a way when you see the first time they halt trading. I'm telling you right now, if they put in regulations, they're going to have the halting switch added. Is going to be one of the first things they do. And what that means is when something's going too volatile, normally in the up direction, they halt it. And then you can't do anything but sell. If you've ever been in that experience where they will turn off the buys, which is market manipulation, or if you're in a short sometimes it's going down real quick, they'll just stop it. So I don't want regulations, period. I don't want the government touching this at all. Everything that they say is bad, I think, is the main reason why I want to be in crypto. The liquidity. I don't give a rat's ass if it's a Ponzi scheme. You just got to buy it at the right times. It'll definitely turn into a Ponzi scheme if the government turns regulations on it. See, there are rumors that crypto is the largest Ponzi scheme ever put in on the world over. The number one way to absolve the world of liquidity, that's why some think that this is the largest Ponzi scheme ever put on people, would be crypto. That's why you got to buy and sell and do what I do. You got to buy the tops, or sell the tops, buy the bottoms. And I don't mean the overall top. I like to buy the shoulder, or sell the shoulder. And I like to buy when I think that the inversion's happening, and if it correlates with the overall formation of all time. I'm very big on all-time formations. So, as is visible above, this transaction involved the movement of 29.74 million XRP, worth 15.7 million at the time of the transfer. The sender was an unknown wallet, likely a whale's address, and this is what it looks like. 29.74 million XRP. So, on the other hand, the receiver was a wallet attached to a known centralized platform, the cryptocurrency exchange BITSO. Thus, the whale here made a deposit to the exchange from their personal address. Investors usually make such transfers whenever they want to use one of the service platforms like these provide, including selling. As such, exchange inflows can prove to be a bearish for price. The second oldest whale transaction from the past 24 hours was also an exchange inflow. This one towards Bitstamp. Interestingly, the sending address from this one was the same as BITSO deposit. So the same whale was probably behind both of these moves. The large investor shifted 27.43 million XRP valued at 14.5 million United States dollars to the exchange in this second move. Naturally, if the whale has made these large moves for selling, they could be a bad sign for the asset's price. Though perhaps, fortunately for the XRP investors, 2 exchange outflows have also occurred recently, which may cancel out these inflows. Below are the details of the 2 larger withdrawals. And these were worth 26,675,000 XRP. And that was from Binance. In this move, a whale took out around 26.67 million XRP, worth 14 million from Binance, which cancels out the one that was put onto the other exchange on BITSO. Today's exchange outflow also involved Binance with another 20.85 million tokens valued at 10.6 million leaving the platform. So that's 24.6 million leaving the platform, while 15 million is coming on the platform out of these whale transfers. So more money leaving than coming. So it might be another game of who the hell knows, but it looks still to me more bullish than bearish until that pattern breaks down. The 5th and final transfer was the largest during the past day, a whopping 100 million XRP valued at $53 million. But this move involved unknown wallets on both sides, so it's impossible to say why the move would have been made. But it's from an unknown wallet to unknown wallet, which means it's not changing hands. That could literally be me sending money from me to a family member, right? So you don't know what that is it could be an institution moving from one side to the, who knows? But it hasn't been put on the exchange, so that's all I care about. The reason could have been anything from a change of wallets to selling through over-the-counter OTC means, which again, a little bit different, but different means as well, so we'll never know. XRP had recovered to 57 cents earlier in the week, but it appears that the coin has lost the progress. It's back at 52 cents now. So that's everything I wanted to go over. Everything and then some. So we're going to pay attention to this, so make sure you pay attention to this after I leave. You make sure you pay attention to what looks like could be a possible setup here, but we don't know if it's going to reverse, if this is going to end up being another pullback down. But if it does bounce off of that support every time, it's bounced at least 550% to as much in the previous 4 times, over 3,000%. So it's going to be pretty interesting if that holds. If you're watching XRP, 52% or 52 cents, got to hold that area. Otherwise, a drop to 34 cents is possible, especially if you lose the 507 handle support or 506 handle support in the cup and handle. And with Bitcoin, before I walk out, actually, I want to show XRP Healthcare too before I walk out because it retraced a little bit. So opportunity. Bitcoin down 754 points. Yes, it could bounce up, but where it's at right now, the technical target could drop all the way down to 50,599. So just pay attention to that if this plays exactly right. So, but the drop, as of right now, Bitcoin suggesting a drop out of this technical pattern. And if it played it true, the technical drop is 50,559 or 599. So that's a pretty big drop if it plays it true. So from the top, you're talking about a 22% drop roughly. That's still got about 19% left there if it breaks down. So pay attention to that 64,400 area very carefully. And then XRP Healthcare. It's down 10% today. As I said, I haven't been adding to it until it makes a play, and it had to come much lower. Well, yeah, for me to make a play, I don't know. I'll have to watch this closer because it looks like a W reversal could be forming. But that's interesting. You know, this actually is giving us a way to look at this, though. This is very nice. This is very nice if you do it like this. Let's see if this is building something. Let's see if this is building something, honestly. I want to see if this is building something. I want to see if this is building something because the way that this support structure is lining up, this is actually, wow, this is something. Something's going on here. Let's see if we can get this right. Miss Vicky, thank you so much for that $50 donation. Holy crap. That is unbelievable. We all appreciate you keeping us informed and grounded. Man, I Miss Vicky, I appreciate that so much. We love you heaps. I love you too, Miss Vicky. And all of you as well. It's so generous. That's unbelievable. Those kind of donations always catch me off guard. That's hard-earned money there. I'm not saying that $4 isn't hard-earned money, but we're talking $50. That's hard. That's a lot of money. So I think looking at it in a setup like this for XRP Healthcare. So if it breaks down from here, then we know we're going to have a drop down to at least here. Now, that's the uptrend on those wicks. But man, it almost looks like if it broke down from here, it'd be hard to hold that area. I'm not going to go from the widest part because I think that would do us an injustice. Yeah. So we got to be careful here if you're adding right now or if you're getting in for the first time. Because as I've said before, this could very well turn into a large M-topping reversal. Because you see shoulder, head, even when did it come back up all the way there? I don't think it came up there. But head, down, and if it breaks it. But it does look like, with how this is set up, it made such a big move, it would almost behoove us not to come back up and at least make a double top there's like sat somehow. Man, I'm conflicted here. If you're looking to buy this and you're looking to take a shot, where it's at. If you're looking to take a shot, but you got to understand, you got to have if you don't want to ride this to the bottom, if it breaks below 5 cents, it's just, unfortunately, there's going to be some more of a drop. But if you're trying to take a shot here, it's going to be difficult in the 2 hourly just because that's engulfing. 30-minute, but it's down at support technically. 30-minute, 15, man, oh man, 5, oh fuck. It's going to start getting into oversold, but it's tough right now. It's tough out here right now. Oh, it's tough. It's tough. That is 50-50 at its finest, like you said. That is 50-50. Just like the rest of the market seems to be 50-50 at its finest. But, let's see. I'm not good technically or any of this. If it weren't for Tom, I'd lost all my extra people now. Miss Vicky, I appreciate the compliment. But, you know, by you being here, it shows that you know what you're doing. By you looking at the analysis and then making your own decision, that proves it. Look at XDC, everybody. Remember what I said at the start? I wanted to buy it when it was at what level? And why didn't I buy it? Because I missed the opportunity, and I said, you don't want to buy resistance, and then you wait to see if it can hold support. If it comes through here, the buy that I wanted to buy initially at around the 3.8 level is there. But you got to make sure, because there's a reason why I've been swing trading this the last 2 times. Friday was great. Anybody who was here 1 week ago on Friday, we bought this, and by Tuesday, we sold it for 14% or 13%. For me, it was just over $500. Then yesterday, we bought it, and it wasn't a huge move. It was like 4 or 5%. And I sold, I think it was 4.4%, maybe about 105, 110 bucks. So just on XDC this week, we're able to make, you know, about 650 bucks in capital. And for me, I took out 500 bucks, as you know, in the beginning of the week and had some cash on hand. Literally. So, because this short-term move doesn't seem to have held it. It looks like it's going to come back within here, honestly. So I was so hesitant to buy it when it came. I mean, now, unless this creates a big reversal here, but I'm looking for a possible farther move down here. And this is going to be determined by the rest of the market as well. Because this, as we said, it's dangerous because it could have just created a right shoulder, just like everything else. Look at this. If we're being honest. Do-do-do-do-do. Up. Do-do-do-do-do. Now, man, maybe it needs to come up here again to actually validate that. But just pay attention to something. Watch this. If it does something like... Whoops. If it does something like this, and then I got to go. Because Julie's dealing with the kids. Scarlett's friends over, and I want to go be social. So, come down. If it does something like this... No, not that far. Like this, to a head, back around to the uptrend, back up to a rejection here at the downtrend. That could be a head and shoulders topping reversal. So just pay attention. Pay attention. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. Thank you all for watching. I got to get going. Have a blessed Friday. And hopefully I'll see everybody tomorrow. Because I'll be live. Weekends or not, I'm always live. Miss Vicky, thank you so much for that $50 donation. That unbelievably generous, and the other donation as well. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a blessed one, and I hope this live helps some of you. Glad we're able to spend about an hour and 20 minutes instead of an hour together. That's always a blessing.